Hi everyone, this session's all about DISC and communication. DISC is a really valuable tool and I really want to share this with you so that you can use it in the workplace, you can use it at home, you can use it in lots of different places. It's not perfect, it's definitely not perfect, but what it does is it really assists us to think about how do we communicate effectively with other people. And we often hear the saying, you should treat people the way you want to be treated. And I think that's right. But you should also treat people the way they want to be treated. And DISC gives us the tools to be able to do that effectively. So let's find out a bit more about DISC. So DISC stands for dominance. So there are 4 different behavioral styles: dominance, influencer, steadiness, or sometimes known as security, and conscientiousness, sometimes known as compliance. These are the 4 major behavioral styles that we see. And as we go through this, you're going to learn a lot more about yourself, but you're also going to learn a lot more about others. So why DISC? Why am I so keen to teach you about DISC? DISC is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and there are going to be some people who will tell you that it's not scientifically proven that these behavioural styles exist. And that's fine. At the end of the day, the reason why I like DISC is that I think it's a really valuable tool for us to think about what is our behaviour, how do we generally behave, and what do we see in others, and how can we make sure that we have effective communication and therefore develop really effective relationships within the workplace or within our homes, within our friendship groups. So I find DISC really, really helpful because it helps us start a conversation. It helps us think about other people. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate to be really valuable in another way. And I think that when you go through this process, what you will see is that people are often predictably different. We are all different, there's no doubt about that, but there are some things which you can sort of predict. And this comes home to me all the time in the work that I do, that there are some people that do tend to go faster, other people that need more time. Some people are very task focused, some people are very people focused. So a lot of the behavioural styles that are reflected in the DISC process are easily seen playing out in the workplace. And so it's really helpful to understand that about ourselves, but it's also incredibly helpful to understand and see that in other people. Because we often talk about we should treat people the way we want to be treated. But DISC teaches us that while that's important, it's also important to treat people the way they want to be treated. And that way we can have much more effective communication. So what DISC does, it helps us understand ourselves, but it also helps us understand other people. And it helps us to understand that sometimes we are going to see behaviours that are reflecting that person's stress. And then we can separate the behaviour from the person. The person is okay, the behaviour might not be, but the behaviour is telling us something. It's really valuable, important information that we can then go, there's a problem here, and how can we work with it? And then that helps us tap into our empathy rather than our judgmental self, which we all love to do because it keeps us safe. All right, so let's go into this a bit further. Let's talk about the history of DISC.